Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 12 o'clock on a Sunday. Happy New Year. It's time for a Q&A. Now on the Q&A, if you haven't seen one before, I take all the questions that you've asked over the last week or two and I try and answer them to the best of my ability. Now this is a very important Q&A. First of all, it's the first one of the new year. Happy 2021 to everyone here. But the second reason is, before I even get into answering any questions, there's a couple of really important issues that I need to address, stuff that's happened over the course of the last week, and I want to address both of those now before I move on to answering any questions. And the first thing that I want to address is going to be the future of this channel in 2021. Okay, so the first question, the first thing I want to address is the future of this channel in 2021. I do get a lot of people commenting on the different videos saying, well, are you going to be as prolific as you were in 2020? Are you going to carry on producing content? The short answer is yes. I am. I'm going to be just as prolific, and I'm going to continue to stick to the schedule that I've set myself, which is 14, maybe 15 videos a week. That's the short answer. The long answer is a little bit more complicated, and to understand this, I need to be completely honest with you, and on this channel I've been completely honest and completely transparent ever since I started doing Magic TV, and I turned this channel into a channel for magicians, and I want to continue to do that for you right now. And you need to understand why I left the Magic community many years ago. And I did leave the Magic community. I completely stepped away. And I disappeared from the Magic community altogether. I left the Wizard Product Review. I stopped going to conventions, any conventions. I stopped hanging around magicians, and I just focused on building my business and growing my businesses and focused on that. And the reason I did that, there were a few different reasons. The one reason is I just had a family and I wanted to spend more time with the kids, and I didn't have time to kind of immerse myself in the Magic community like I once did. The other reason was I wanted to focus on my business. I wanted to really try and make my businesses successful, because I was in a situation where I was living on a gig by gig basis, which was fine and all well and good, but I knew that with a family, I needed to make sure that I supported the family. And my wife, Sarah, who a lot of you know films this, she had a very good job as a deputy head at a school, and she was going to be giving that up when Ryland was born. So I needed to make sure I focused on my business. Those were the two of the reasons. The third reason was I just couldn't take being in the Magic community anymore. I had a lot of stuff happen over a period of time, and I've addressed a lot of this on the channel. We had the whole situation with Red. Then there were so many threads put out on me. I remember the weekly Magic fail, put a video up, really, oh, it was horrible. Jersey Magic reviews, there's a guy on there that really ripped into me. And it seemed that every day there was a thread that was going on the internet about me, and it happened every time I released a product, and it happened every time I talked about Magic, and it happened every time I went on the Wizard Product Review. So I chose to step away because it was really making me feel bad, because I was reading all of these comments and I was reading all of these things that people were saying, and it used to overwhelm me. I couldn't concentrate on anything else, and I knew I needed to focus on other stuff. So that was really the main driving force why I left. And even after I left, you know, I was doing stuff completely separate to the Magic community, and I kept getting dragged back in when I did the team building stuff, which I talked about on the Justin Flom video, when everything. My kids' entertainment company was bashed for many different reasons. And it was all threads going on, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. I just really couldn't. It was overwhelming. It was horrible, and I had to walk away. And I had to get my head straight, and I had to basically just focus on myself, which I did. And I focused on building up my businesses, which thankfully have become very successful. I mean, you know, this isn't a video about me bragging, but, you know, Nonstop Kids does, or at least did before COVID, like 5,000 or 6,000 parties a year. Slightly Unusual did about 2,000 or 3,000 parties a year. You know, I built up a big company with multiple staff, and even now, in the middle of a pandemic, we've booked over 200 kid shows, just virtual kid shows just over Christmas, just between Christmas and New Year. So I had to focus on that to make my business successful. But then the summer came, and I decided that I wanted to do a YouTube channel initially because Ryland wanted to perform and he was locked in and he couldn't perform. And I said, well, let's do a review show. Let's do this online. And if you look back at the very first review show, it's just me and Ry sitting in my office with Non-Stop Kids banner behind us. And we're just there filming on my iMac. And we both enjoyed it and we carried on doing it and we did more and more. And the feedback was great. And me and Ryland really enjoyed doing that. And I could see that I was making a difference. And lots of people were saying, oh, these reviews are great. Please keep them up. So I kind of said to myself, I've got a lot of time at the moment. You know, I've freed myself up from a lot of time. Magicians are in a lot of trouble at the moment. They're really struggling. We can't go out and perform. It's a horrible situation. I'll try and build up a channel. And the goal was to make the channel something that I really wanted to see myself. And I wanted to make it so that there was something for everybody. So, you know, if you want advice on performing, there's that. If you want advice on dealing with nerves, like the video I put up a couple of days ago, you know, that video is 40 minutes long and it's everything I know about dealing with nerves. If you want to know about, you know, I like taking older effects and kind of bringing them out and putting them in front of people and, you know, the interviews with magicians. And I wanted this channel to be all about that. And I also wanted a section about rants because there are stuff in the magic community that really annoys me. And those rants are genuinely how I feel. And I think that stuff needs to change. You know, the stuff that I talk about on the rants are stuff that I think in the magic community needs to change. And, yeah, so I want, you know, the nice thing about the channel is you can watch the rants if you want to, you can watch the other stuff if you want to, you can pick and choose. But what's happened over the last few weeks, and especially over Christmas, maybe because I had a bit more time over the Christmas period to actually take all of this in, is that the amount of hate that I'm getting on these videos is just overwhelming. You don't see a lot of them because there's filters on the channel that kind of stop a lot of the comments that come through actually going up on the comments, but I get notified and I see all of them, and some of them are not nice. You know, I've had people daily on every video, whether it's a Magic Live or a Magic, I can do a video on something that like is just completely non-controversial. So, you know, I'll give you an example. I can do the video on performing nerves and on, you know, the nerves and yeah, the one that I put up on Friday, I put a video up about, oh, you don't want to, I put a video up on Friday about how to deal with nerves and how to overcome nerves. And I spent a lot of time putting that together, like 45 minutes. And within a few minutes of it going up, this guy called Morbius, who has only ever put negative stuff on the channel, goes on and says, God-awful performers like you are always full of bravado, inflated ego and overconfidence. That's the great irony. He actually posted it twice, once under a fake account and once under his real account. That was obviously a mistake. But he's posted a whole bunch of stuff. Like almost every video he posts stuff. He's not the only one. There's every day. I've had people insult me. I've had people insult my weight, which is horrible. I've always struggled with that, and I try my absolute best, and I'm nowhere near as big as I used to be, but that's something that really hurts, and it really does. And then I've had people insult my wife, and I've had people say, oh, she must be a really big lady, she's got fat hands, oh, why are you with this person? I've had people insult Ryland, for fuck's sake. It's just horrible. And over the course of the Christmas period, it was bringing up the feelings that I had when I decided to leave the magic community in the first place. And I sat down with Sarah, and the reason it's frustrating, right, I've had people, there's so many people on Facebook and on YouTube that say, oh, Craig's just after sensationalism. He posts videos because he wants to be controversial, because he wants to get clicks. I couldn't give two shits about getting clicks or not clicks. That's not something I care about. I don't care about that. I don't care about clicks or that. I'd like more subscribers on the channel. But the reason I want more subscribers on the channel is because I feel that this is a channel that magicians can benefit from. Because I have a wealth of knowledge and I want to share it for free. You know, I had somebody on the mem deck, I did a video on the mem deck, and I talked about everything I know about the mem deck. It took me 50 minutes. Well, Matt Baker messaged me and he said, that's the best video I've ever seen as an introduction for mem deck magic. And I'm going to send that to anyone who asks me about mem decks in the future. But I had 3 people on that video say, oh, you know nothing about mem deck. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. It's overwhelming. It really is. And I don't do this for likes or shares. Let me explain. I don't make money off this YouTube channel. The channel is monetized, but I don't make money. Every single thing that you see me review on this channel, I pay for it myself. I don't have stuff sent to me. You know, Magic Orthodoxy is a great channel. It's a great channel. I've got a lot of respect for that guy. But he gets some stuff sent to him. And his reviews go up on places like hocuspocus.com. So I find it difficult. And I think that he's telling completely the truth, by the way. This isn't a diss on him at all. I think it's amazing. But I want to be in a situation where I'm not beholden to one person. And if you've tried to send me something to review in the past, you'll know that I've said, no, I'll buy it. And I spend hundreds of pounds. And then I spend time learning the trick to perform it to you. And afterwards, I'll literally throw it in the bin because it's dreadful. And I spend so much time and effort and money. I probably spent 15 videos a week I'm putting up. Do you know how much time it takes to research the content? How much time it takes to film it? How much time it takes to edit it, how much time it takes to upload it and do the thumbnails and do the graphics and do everything. I'm probably working 10 hours a day on this channel every single day. And I'm lucky I've got other people that can run the other business for me. I'm working full on and I'm losing money every single week because I'm buying a load of shit that I wouldn't normally buy just so I can tell people whether it's good or bad. So this is not about me making money. If I wanted to sit down and make money, I would just put more effort into Non-Stop Kids and Slightly Unusual that turn over $1 million+ a year. That's not what this is about. So no, for the people that say, oh, he's trying to create controversy, I couldn't give two shits about people that like or share the videos. I'm glad that you do because I want more people to be a part of this channel. But my motives are because I think that people can benefit from this channel, not because I'm trying to make money from it like a Justin Flom or a Rick Lax. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that at all. It would be far easier for me not to do this channel. It would be far easier for me to not do this channel. I would have more time to spend with my family. I would have more time to spend on my businesses. But you know what? I love doing it. And do you know why I love doing it? I love doing it for the messages that I get, like this guy. Who's just said, keep the great work up, Craig. Love your videos. I agree with you, Craig. Do you know why people slag you off? It's because they're jealous of the fact that you're more successful than them. I don't know what the case is, but I don't understand why. You know what? If I don't like something, then I simply just don't watch it. I don't... You know what? The point of this is just to say, I sat down with my wife, Sarah, and I explained everything to her just before the new year. And I said, look, this is... I'm starting to feel like I did when I left the magic community in the first place. And she fixed me. She turned around to me and she said, just ignore them. You know, if people are pathetic enough to go on your channel and watch a video through when they obviously don't like the content that you're putting out and they don't like you and they don't respect you, if they feel the need to watch all of your videos and then comment on them, and the same people are commenting on the same videos over and over again, and it's normally a fake account. It's normally somebody that haven't got the balls to actually say who they really are. It's just a fake account. Somebody set up an account. They don't want to know who they are, but they want their opinion heard. But they don't want to know who. They don't want people to know who they are. If those people are sad enough to create a fake account just to actually do this, and they don't want to tell you who they are, what does their opinion matter? You know, we've got people on this channel that say, oh, you're a joke. You're a joke to the magic community. Everybody hates you. If everybody hates me, how come I've got people lined up to interview on this channel and I don't contact them, they contact me? How come I've got every big name in the world wanting to be interviewed on this channel? If I'm such a joke, why is it they want to interview me? That's what my wife said to me. That's what she turned around and said to me. And you know, she's right. So I need that this part of this Q&A is just to tell you that my plans for 2021 are to continue to be as prolific as ever before. And I will not let people who decide to insult me, decide to slag me off, decide to call me names, decide to call my family names, my son, my wife, my kids. If you are the person that's doing that, I am no longer going to get angry at you. I pity you. I pity you because it means that you are so pathetic that you haven't got more important things to do. I wouldn't have time to go and do that. I want to spend time with my kids. I want to spend time with my family. I want to do something else that's a little bit more constructive. And any single one of these people, I'd like to see you do what I do. I'd like to see you put 15 videos up a week, every single week, week in, week out, not missing a scheduled date once, never missing a scheduled date. I'd like to see that happen because I'm telling you right now, none of you could do it. None of the people that are being negative and slagging me off behind fake accounts could do that whilst running 2 companies, whilst being a dad and a husband. So I'm glad that my wife had a chat with me because it sorted my head out and I was very, very upset. And just thinking about how I've been this last week has been horrible. But you know what? I've got a new mindset. Because every single time that one of those assholes comments on one of my videos and decides to slag me off, it just puts more fire in my belly. And I'm just going to carry on, and I'm going to carry on, and carry on. And I'm doing this not for you. I'm doing it not for the people that are that hate me, not for the people that choose to call me a twat or any of that. I'm doing it for the people that like my videos and get mileage out of it. And the people who message me and go, oh my gosh, this has been so helpful. I've learned to mem deck because of this video. I've got into coin magic because of this video. I've been really nervous, but that's really helped. Whatever it may be. Oh, watching you do audience management has really helped me. Thank you so much. Anybody who has been affected positively by my videos, that is why I'm doing them. And I will continue to do them in 2021. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is a guy called Gordon Drayson. Now, 99% of the people on this YouTube channel will have no idea who Gordon Drayson is or any of this that's happened. But again, this comes down to me wanting to be transparent on this channel, and I do not plan on airing dirty laundry every week. This is just ridiculous, but I want to address this because there's something that I did that's wrong, and I want to be, I've always said, it's not your actions, but it's how you deal with them that counts. So, let me explain. I did the Justin Flom video that went up on Wednesday, just gone, and I stand by everything I said in that video. I was very annoyed about how he exposed the crystal casket. More annoyed than you can possibly know. That's a feature of my act. But anyway, I was very, very annoyed, and I felt the need to justify. I knew, and this kind of goes back to what I was talking about before, I knew that I would have so many people hating on me because of the whole team building thing. And if you haven't seen the Justin Flom video, go and watch it. I explain it all there. I knew I was going to get a lot of people hating on me if I just went all out and said, hey, you shouldn't be exposing illusions. I knew I was going to get a lot of people coming back to me because stuff gets dragged up on this channel all the time. So I wanted to address it. So I addressed it. Now, the problem is I've had a pretty busy Christmas. I've still been doing virtual parties. As I say, we've booked a couple of hundred parties in over the course of this last week. And I've been shooting videos and dealing with the marketing team. And we've been redoing the website and a whole bunch of different stuff. So I've been very, very busy. And I wanted to get this video up. It went up on a Wednesday, not on a Friday, because the video on a Friday was filmed a couple of weeks ago. I didn't want to change that. And I didn't want to wait till the following Friday. So we put the video up live there and then. And I didn't have time to really properly edit it. And what I do when I film these videos, I edit them all myself, because, especially the rant videos, because I want to check to make sure I haven't said anything. The amount of stuff that gets cut out those rant videos that I think is inappropriate or I don't think I should have said is crazy. On that video, I had a virtual party. I'd just done like 4 virtual parties. I had another virtual party to get to. I had a million other things going on. It was very, very busy for me, and I didn't have time to edit it properly. I just quickly put it all together, boom, uploaded it to YouTube, and I left something in there. I called Gordon Drayson a twat. In the video, in the middle of the video, about the 10-minute mark, I talked about Gordon Drayson in the context of what happened with all the team building stuff, and I said Gordon Drayson is a twat. Now, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have dragged him into something that wasn't about him. It should have been about Justin Flom. It should have not been about him. And I apologise. If I had edited it properly, or if I'd have thought about it, I wouldn't have dragged him into it. And there's been times when I've edited stuff out like that in the past, but it made the final cut. Hey ho. And again, I'm very, very sorry about that. He then went out on Facebook and went into almost every single magic Facebook group he could find and commented on it and said, hey, this is wrong. What do you think? I think this is terrible. He shouldn't have said this about me, blah, 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 which is true. I wish he'd actually contacted me first, which he hadn't. He's put it all over. And so a lot of people in those groups that don't like me, it turned into a slagging match. It went on Magicians Only. The thread's since been locked. It went on Tricks in the Sticks, which has since been deleted because it got very heated, because a lot of people were commenting very negative towards me. A couple of people were commenting positive towards me, and I appreciate that, but it all went out of hand. So now what's happened is Gordon is saying that he's going to take legal action against me. If that's going to be the case, and that's his prerogative, I want to tell you guys why I called him a twat. And as I say, first of all, shouldn't have said it. I apologise, really shouldn't have said it. Here's the thing, I don't like Gordon Drayson. Calling him a twat is something I believe. I do think he is a twat, I really do. But that shouldn't have been said on the thing. Now, do I respect him as a performer? Yes, I think he's a great performer. I think he's a really good performer. And I think he's a really smart marketing guy as well. Very few magicians are very good at marketing. This guy is. He's actually very, very good. But yeah, he's very, very good at marketing, and he does a lot of stuff. I think he's got a marketing agency as well. But I remember seeing him win the Children's Entertainer of the Year championships. Very good magician, very good magician. We just don't get on. And one of the reasons we don't get on, and really the main reason, is because when this whole team building stuff came up, and again, I talked about this in the Flom video, so if you want to find out more about this, go there. When this whole team building thing came up, it was he had a news website back in the day. It hasn't got one anymore. I think it was called the magicdaily.co.uk or something. And he was kind of the guy that broke the news. He put a big article on there, Craig Petty of Slightly Unusual, exposes team building illusions, blah, 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 this is terrible, all of that. Now, he never reached out to me. He never spoke to me about it. He never reached out to me. He never contacted me. When I did the Justin video, I reached out to Justin like about 10 times and he didn't answer. Fair enough. But when he never contacted me, nobody ever contacted me about this whole thing. He just put this on. And that was the catalyst that was almost the beginning of the end. The reason I left the magic community, or the reason I didn't go back any quicker, was because that was kind of the snowball. It snowballed from that article. And that's when the Magic Circle decided to leave my membership to lapse, and everything else that went on. It was him highlighting this, and I wish he'd have spoken to me, because then he could have got my side of the story, and then from a journalism point of view, he could have actually put my side across as well, and I would have happily spoken to him. But he didn't do that. He didn't do that at all. So I kind of hated him for that, to be honest, because it caused death threats and so much stuff that was horrible to deal with, and he did that, and the cafe just went ballistic as well, and it was horrible. But at the same time, I did the whole on For Networking. I did a business presentation, and as I talked about on the Justin Flom video, I exposed Toxic Force, which I totally regret. And a few people called me out on it, including Gordon, Pete Turner as well. And you know what? They were probably right to call me out on it. They were right to call me out, and no one spoke to me privately about it. It was all done in the open, but whatever. They were both right to call me out on it. However, I do believe I really do believe that Gordon went a bit too far, because first of all, this video, in 5 years that it's been out, has only had just over 1,000 views, and most of those are probably magicians. And it wasn't even on my YouTube channel, so there's nothing I could do about it. And I'd already gone on record as saying, yeah, I shouldn't have done this, I'm really sorry. But he actually went on the thread on the forum website saying, this video contains intellectual property that does not belong to Craig Petty. I suggest For Networking look at this taken down while it's investigated. There are magicians who are currently taking legal action against Craig, or may be taking further action. Then he goes on about copyrighted effects. He cites the Penn and Teller Rose trick, and he posts on there like about 10 times on this thread. He posts on there so many times, and it's kind of like, okay, this is now becoming sort of almost a campaign against me. Okay, you've outed me, that's cool. You've put it everywhere, that's fine. But now you're going to a company that I'm a member of, that I get business from, and you're telling them that you're saying that people are taking legal action against me, and you're talking about copyright theft. That's taking it a little bit too far, especially as I'd apologised. But whatever. I never actually contacted him about either of those two things. I hated him. That's the reason why I think he's a twat. I think he went around things the wrong way, but I never contacted him about that. Then we were both at a convention, a marketing convention that Ken Kennedy set up, and I went over to him. He didn't come over to me. I went over to him and I said, look, we've had a very checkered past. I just want to say, let's call it a day. Let's just end this whole feud and let's just move on. Can we do that? Can we do that? And we shook hands and we said, fine. So I thought that was all over. In fact, I actually messaged him in 2015, in November. I messaged him on his messenger and I said, I know we've had our differences, but I have a client in your area. She booked us last year. She wants to book it again this year, but we aren't available despite what you think to me. I want to make sure that all of our previous clients are well looked after. I know you're a very good entertainer, so I'd like you to pass your details over to her. I was not trying to make a commission or anything. And he said, yeah, Craig, I'll be very happy to help if I can. Unfortunately, he wasn't available for the dates, and we tried to reschedule the date with the client. They couldn't do that, so it ended up not happening. But I did want to actually give him a gig. From my point of view, it had ended. It had been over, right? Okay. So then we get through to the summer, and we get through to specifically June the 24th. And for those of you guys, by the way, that don't want to hear any of this, please scroll on. The first question is going to be answered soon. The only reason I'm going through this is because it's blown up on Facebook, and I feel the need to explain why I did what I did. So anyway, June the 24th, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I still haven't really managed to work out how to market virtual parties at this point, and I'm very stressed, as a lot of magicians were. But I have an agency, and I have like 100 entertainers that work with me, and I'm trying to figure out how I can get as much work as possible to keep food on their tables, and I'm very, very stressed. And I put a post on Facebook, and it's basically a very long post about theatres can open but they can't perform live shows. What the hell is the point of that? Pubs can open but they can't have live entertainment in case people have to shout. The entertainment and the arts industry is suffering right now. The irony is, whenever there's a crisis in the world, people need to raise funds to they turn to entertainers. Can you provide your services for free, please? It was a very long post, and I said at the end, more importantly, can someone please tell me why it's okay for cinemas to open but theatres can't? It's ridiculous. I was venting. I've got a lot of friends in the arts. They're having to get other jobs. I just put a post on Facebook saying I was frustrated with it. It had about 50 likes, so a lot of people were feeling the same thing, to be perfectly honest. A lot of people were feeling the same thing. And what happened is Gordon commented on there, and we went back and forth a little bit. He commented on there, and he said, he said, it's all down to breathing and the way the air is expelled during performance. The information is available if you're interested. I'm guessing you're just looking to make trouble on Facebook. Which irritated me, because I hadn't actually said anything negative about him for years. I'd even offered him a job a few years ago, and that really irritated me. And I said, I'm not looking to make trouble with you and anyone else. I'm just expressing my opinion on Facebook. This is my opinion. You know, if you don't like what I have to say and you think I'm causing trouble, feel free to unfriend me or unfollow me. And he said, I was answering the question you posted. Don't ask a question if you don't want an answer. In regards to getting over things, we didn't see eye to eye in the past. A 30-second conversation 2 years ago and then nothing isn't really a long-term fix. Well, it was a 30-second conversation, then I offered him a gig, but he's never going to be a friend. You know, I just wanted to not have a feud with him. He said, personally, I think you're clever enough to know why theatre shows can't be performed, and you're looking to stir things up, which is your normal modus operandi. I then blocked him. Just because I was in a situation where I was desperate. I was working like 12 hours a day, trying to work out how to market virtual shows. I was trying to, I had a million things going on. I was working harder than I ever had before. I didn't have time for this negativity. I hadn't set up a YouTube channel, so I just blocked him. I didn't want to get into an argument with him. The next day, I unblocked him because I thought, well, maybe it's a bit harsh to block him. I'll unblock him, and then if he wants to contact me, he can. And then I go on his page, and once I've unblocked him, let me see if I can find this for you. Here it is. So I go on his page and he posted, I just got blocked by Craig Petty just because I said something he didn't agree with. Well, you were arguing on my part. I put a post on there. I wasn't being argued. It doesn't matter. He said, what a complete ... he is. Now everybody knows what ... means. Everybody knows what ... means. You might not have said the word, but everybody knows what that means. But you know what? I still didn't rise to him. I didn't call him out. I was too busy trying to figure out how to market virtual shows. I didn't call him out. I didn't want to. And in that thread, I had a look at the thread. And in that thread, Richard Kaufman, who's never been my biggest fan, called me a twat. Craig Petty's a twat or whatever. He then goes on 4 days later and posts on his Facebook page, what a great day. I was blocked by someone last week, and yet he has someone watching my post. No, I'd unblocked myself, which is why I could see it, which meant that he got to see someone he respected and looked up to calling him a twat. Just goes to show there are always repercussions to every action. That's made my day, that has. And you know what? I still didn't say anything to him. I'm furious at this point, but I've got more important things to worry about. I'm absolutely furious. And I remember pointing this out to him when this all blew up on Facebook the day after the Justin Flom thing. I pointed this out to him. I said, look, you did this to me on your Facebook page. And he said, well, first of all, my Facebook page is viewed only by my friends. No, it's not. I can view you right now. Your Facebook page is set up so anybody that's not friends with you can view it. So anyone can see it. He said it's a big difference between putting something on a YouTube video that anyone can see. Anyone can see your Facebook page, Gordon. Anyone can see your Facebook page. But even though I put 2 posts on, I still didn't say anything because I was busy and I didn't want to. And then we get to the Justin Flom video. I'm really angry at this point. It was filmed right in the middle of, I spoke to you at the very beginning about how pissed off I was with people leaving negative comments. I'm in a bad mood. I'm upset. I'm really busy. And I call him a twat. That's how I feel. However, I don't think I've done any worse than what he's done. And I wish he'd have just contacted me and said, hey, why are you calling me a twat? What's this all about? But no, he decided to post in every Facebook group he could. So that's why I called him a twat. That's where we're at. Now, he then contacted me on New Year's Eve. I contacted him. I reached out to him on New Year's Eve and I said, look, Gordon, can't we just sort this out between us? I said, I'm wrong. I immediately said, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I shouldn't have called you a twat. I apologise. I'm very sorry. And I said, I'm more than happy to make a public apology. And he said, well, I want the video taken down. I don't want a public apology. And I said, well, I think the content in the video still stands. I think it's important that people hear that message. And also, I called him a twat in that video. Re-editing the video and putting it back up there will still mean that 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people have seen me call Gordon Drayson a twat. I would rather go down the route of doing a public apology, which is what I'm doing right now. I publicly apologise to Gordon Drayson. And he said, no, he wants the video taken down. And I said, well, let's talk about it tomorrow. This was at 8 o'clock on New Year's Eve. I said, I've got a gig in a bit, because I had. Can we talk about it in a bit? And he said, no, I'm going to give you until 8 o'clock to take it down, else I'm going to be taking legal action against you, and I'm also going to be notifying YouTube. And, well, I'll tell you exactly what he said. If the video isn't down in the next hour, I'll be taking further legal action, your choice. I will be reporting the video also if it isn't taken down, which could then put your whole channel in limbo. 8 p.m. is your deadline. I was busy. I was busy. And he turned around to me at 8:04 and said, I see the video still isn't up, so I'll be in contact about court dates. So there we have it. So that's the whole history between me and Gordon Drayson. I apologise. I apologise, Gordon, for calling you a twat on a video. I shouldn't have done that. If you want to take legal action against me for expressing my opinion, then that is what you have to do. If you want to try and take this channel down and you want to get a strike against me, or you want to take the whole channel down on YouTube, that is also your prerogative. I think that's going a little bit too far, especially as I reached out to you, and it's not like you've been blameless in this whole situation. You turn around to me and say 2 years, just a handshake 2 years ago isn't a long-term fix. I don't want a long-term fix with you, Gordon. All I wanted was to be in a situation where we weren't at loggerheads. And that's all I wanted. I have no interest in being your friend. I had no interest in meeting up and having a drink with you. I didn't want a long-term fix. What I wanted is to not be in a situation where we were bickering with each other all of the time. For me, I achieved that. I then offered you a gig. But apparently, no. 2 years has gone past. That meant nothing. So that's absolutely fine. Cool. Whatever. No problem. I only did this video because you've been posting everywhere, all over Facebook, and I think people need to know the context behind me calling you a twat. So that's it. I'm not saying anything untruthful, and I can back up everything with screenshots. If you want to take it further and you want to take legal action against me, that's your prerogative. However, I will like to publicly apologise. And I know you said to me in private message, the fact that you've publicly apologise means that you can take me to court on libel and there's a very good chance you'll win. That's fine. I still feel the need to apologise because I shouldn't have said that about you in a video that was about Justin Flom. End of. Let's just move on with the questions. So, the next question, or the first question, after that very long monologue, is from Mr. Harmon. Hey, Mr. Harmon, thank you very much. Feels appropriate to have your question answered first. What's your opinion on John Archer? I think he's a freaking genius. Absolutely love him. Blank Night was my favourite routine. It's so good. And the guy just is hilarious. Everything he does is hilarious. I've got like a set of like 10 DVDs that if people don't know magic and they come around my house and they go, oh, you're a magician, rather than me showing them magic, I like to put DVDs on of some of my favourite magicians. I will always put on my John Archer live performances from the Alakazam videos because I think he is brilliant. He's so entertaining. He's so awesome. I absolutely love John Archer. Okay, so the next question is again by Mr. Harmon, and it's, have you ever not used moves that you have learnt? Yeah, quite a few, to be honest. Normally colour changes. I learn a colour change because it looks pretty, and then I don't use it because I've got my 5 or 6 colour changes that I like to use. Sometimes I'll learn a control that I don't use. Passes happens a lot. I'll see a pass and I'll be like, I really want to learn that, and I always end up going back to my 3 favourite passes, which is the spread pass, the free turn pass, and the midnight shift. So yeah, you know what? A move that I spent absolutely ages learning that I never actually use for anything is the centre reverse. That's the one where you out jog the middle card and flip it round and put it back in, and it's kind of it's a way of reversing a card in the centre of the deck. And I spent ages learning that move, and I never use it because there's so many other ways to achieve the same thing that are easier. And I think that's a very good question actually when you're thinking about that, Mr. Harmon. I think when you're learning a move, you need to think about it. Do you actually need to learn this move? Is there a way that you can do this more simply, or a way that you can do this with moves that you already know? And in the case of the centre reverse, I spent ages learning it, and I don't use it because there's a more simple way of doing it. But yeah, it happens all the time. When you learn Magic a lot, and I love reading books and I love watching Magic, you'll see a move and you'll learn it, and then you'll end up just not doing it. It happens from time to time, but you know, it's fun learning it in the first place. And you never know, you might learn a routine and you might have a move in your tool bag and you think, oh, that is the perfect move. Absolutely the perfect move. I'm going to use that one. Okay, so the next question, about 20 people asked if I'm going to do a flip a coin video, and the answer is yes. I did the hows and whys of the mem deck, and that was really well received. So this week I'm going to be filming the hows and whys of the flip a coin. I'm going to do it the same way as the mem deck video. So I'm going to be going fully in depth about everything I know about flip a coins, and I'm going to be performing some of my favorite flip a coin tricks as well. So that will be coming sooner rather than later. It'll be on a Thursday on Magic Stuff. So look out for that. But yes, everybody that's asked, and there have been a lot of people, I will be doing a flip a coin video, absolutely. Okay, so the next question is by Jake Platt Magic. Hey buddy, how you doing? And the question is, what tricks fit in your wallet that are with you all the time? What tricks fit in your wallet that are with you all the time? Great question. Well, let me see. I always have Keymaster on me. It doesn't necessarily fit in my wallet, but I always have Keymaster on me. I always have an Extreme Burn in my wallet, a locked and loaded, because when you've got Extreme Burn in your wallet, you're good to go anytime, anywhere. I absolutely love Extreme Burn. What else do I have in my wallet? I always have Love Cards, which is an old DVD from years ago. It's still available, that myself and Russell Leeds put out. And it's a little mind-reading thing with those little greeting cards that you get that are credit card sized, and you get them to think of one, and they think of one, and you know, you tell them the word they're thinking of. It's a really nice presentation, it's a really nice principle, and it organically fits inside your wallet. So I always have one of those. And there's another routine that I do, which is like a close-up version of the baby gag. And I always have that inside my wallet as well, because that is such an organic thing to do. It's something that I might be talking about on the channel at some point in the future, but it's kind of like a baby gag thing where somebody thinks of a celebrity and you pull a picture of a baby out, and it's a free choice of a celebrity, and you turn it around and it's got the picture of the celebrity on there. So yeah, there's that. That's about it really in my wallet. Oh no, I do Alan Morrison's Chipped. So you know the thing, I don't know if you know Alan Morrison's Chipped, but it's I made it up out of one of my own credit cards. It's a way of actually taking a chip off a credit card and throwing it back onto a credit card. I've been doing that for over 10 years. That's in my wallet as well. So I've got a few different things, just enough to be able to do like a 10-minute set. But that, with my phone and Keymaster, which I carry around with me as well, that kind of gives me like about a 25-minute act that I can carry around anytime, anywhere. So yeah, I hope that helps. What do you keep in your wallet? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so the next question is by Magic Elliot. How you doing, buddy? When I first got into Magic about 16 years ago, maths tricks were considered very old-fashioned and would normally be associated with old-fashioned performers with a blackboard standing on stage. Nowadays, people carry a calculator with them everywhere on their phones. Do you think maths tricks have a place in Magic because of this? Yeah, I do, actually, to be honest. Toxic is something that I use all the time. In about 3 or 4 different routines. My favourite routine is something that I did on Parler that combines Toxic with a pack of cards, and it's called Toxic Coincidence. So you can see that on Parler. I also, if you've ever seen John Archer, we talk about John Archer, talk about him again. John Archer's presentation of the the number thing, number square, the number square that he does on stage, and his method behind it is absolutely brilliant. I do that on stage all of the time, and it's great. It really is. But you know what? There's so many mathematical principles that you can use And a lot of them are hidden inside a pack of cards. So Mike Powers does some great stuff with mathematics. And the other person you should look into is Matt Baker. Matt does some great stuff with mathematics, being a mathematics professor. And if you actually go onto the Vanishing Ink website and you click on the blog section, Matt actually writes a blog every week on the Vanishing Ink website. Every week, every month, not too sure, weekly I think. And what it is it's a blog about tricks with maths. And some of them are absolutely incredible and they just absolutely blow you away. So if you want to see some really cool, really commercial tricks that involves mathematics, go check out Matt Baker's stuff on the Vanishing Ink blog. It's free. He just puts it up every week. You can look at it. Some of it is incredible. So yeah, I think there is a place for maths. I just don't think you want to do it boring. I don't think it wants to be boring. But if you look at the way that John Archer presents the number square, whatever it's called, he does that so brilliantly, and I do it in my act. So yeah, maths definitely has a place. Okay, so the next question is by Mike D. Hey Mike, regular contributor to the channel, I appreciate that. And he says, why do magicians think that they have the right to talk about politics or diss on others' candidates? Isn't the whole purpose of watching magic to separate yourself from the realities of this world for a few moments and be astonished or brought back to childhood for a split second? No other profession in the world can do that. I personally believe that magicians should stay out of politics. When I watch magic or see professional magicians talking about politics, I want to throw up. I don't care which side of the person is on. Politics should not be part of the magic in any way, shape or form. Sorry for my rant, it's just a personal issue. You know what? I agree with you pretty much 100%. I've always, throughout my career, completely stayed away from politics. Over the course of the last 9 months, I have done a couple of videos. I did an open letter to Boris Johnson. I did an open letter to Rishi Sunak, who are the Prime Minister and the Chancellor of the Exchequer in the UK. And I talked about how I felt that the government was dealing with the pandemic incorrectly when it came to the entertainment industry. I wasn't saying that other governments could do it better. I wasn't saying that, I was just talking about the problems that the entertainment industry is having, and that the government need to do something about it. And I had a bee in my bonnet over that over the course of the summer, because I saw so many people being affected by what was happening. And in the UK, at any rate, the entertainment industry were having no support at all. We were just legally told that we couldn't perform. And I didn't think it was right. So I broke my own rules over the summer and I talked about politics, but I wasn't saying this politician is terrible, I would vote for this politician, or this politician is terrible, I wouldn't vote for this politician. I was talking specifically about how the whole thing was being handled incorrectly. I do tend to stay away from politics, I agree. And I do tend to stay away from religion, mainly because religion and politics are the two things that people will argue about. And let's be honest, nobody ever in the history of ever has managed to change someone's opinion on Facebook. But it still doesn't stop us having an opinion and being able to express an opinion. But I do try to stay away from stuff, which is ironic because I know people go, oh, Craig likes causing controversy. And on this channel, I do talk about controversial subjects in the rants that a lot of other people don't talk about. But that's just because I feel passionately about it. But that's stuff that's happening within magic. You won't see him doing a rant going, oh, conservatives are shit, let's get into Labour. I might do a video about how I think that the whole thing's been handled incorrectly and that that's affecting magicians, because that's what, for me, this channel's all about, highlighting problems, at least on a Friday, highlighting problems and issues that I feel need highlighting. But I do agree, keep out of politics and religion. But we can't stop people from having an opinion. If people want to express an opinion, that's great. I've got friends who will constantly talk about religion and politics. They just know not to talk about it with me because they know that they're not going to get a conversation out of me with it, because I just keep my feelings to myself. And the next question is from Drone Damien. Happy New Year, my friend. Do you still work on handlings of your past published tricks? I would love to see current versions of Chop and Keymaster. My gosh, Keymaster especially has completely changed since I released it many, many years ago. I now have like a 15-minute act that I do with those gimmicks. It's not just a two-phase quick routine. It's like a 15-minute act. And it is absolutely brilliant. And maybe one day I'll share that, or I'll come up with some way of sharing it. But yeah, Keymaster has changed considerably. Chop, I've changed the moves and I've changed this structure. The whole idea of Chop is it was like a toolbox. Hey, this is the concept. You can take a regular cup and you can take a bulled up note and you can do Chop Cup with it anytime, anywhere. And here are some moves, but come up with your own moves, be creative. I've come up with more moves since then, and also other ideas. So if anybody's got Chop, one thing that I do, which is a real killer thing, is I have a folded up card set up with a with a gimmick in it that, you know, for those of you that got Chop, you know how it works. I've got a magnet in it, right? And I have this folded up card, and I openly just drop it into a cup. And I let people see that it's in the cup. And then I put the cup over there, out the way, and I get someone to pick a card, and they sign the card. Boom. And then when they've signed the card, it's lost in the pack, and I give them the pack to shuffle, and I say, remember the folded up card that was here? And I tip it out. And when I tip it out, it's their signed card. So it's a really nice way of doing folded card to impossible location using the same gimmick that you're going to have on you to be able to do Chop. So there's lots of ideas I've been workshopping and lots of other stuff. And maybe I'll share this down the line as well. But yeah, I do constantly continue to work on my routines. Not because I'm trying to put a version 2 out. As you guys know, I haven't released Magic in a very long time. But just because I'm never happy with the final result. And I always think that you can improve things, especially with performance. The more you perform something, the better you get at it. And then the final question is from, who's it from? The final question is from Gabran Gray, and also 2 or 3 other people asked this question as well. And the question is, thanks for all you've done this year, Craig, no problem. Do you have a preferred hot rod for using with the colour stick routine? I think everybody in their planet should be doing the colour stick routine. And yes, I do have a preferred hot rod. I do it with the hot rods that are provided by Eric Stevens. Eric Stevens actually has hot rods that he actually supplies to do this routine, and they are exceptional. They are really, really good. So go to Eric Stevens' website and get the sticks directly from them. He posts them over to you. I got like 4 packs because I thought they're going to wear out over time, and I want to make sure that I've got loads of them, and I wanted to get a set for Ryland as well. So yeah, get them directly from Eric. He knows exactly how the sticks could be because it's his routine. And while you're out there, by the way, pick up some of his books. His books are fantastic. So there you go, have it, guys. That's another Q&A, the first Q&A of 2021. Look, I'm very sorry for the first 15, 20 minutes. I don't like airing dirty laundry on this channel, but I've been getting phone calls and emails and Facebook messages from people about all of this since it all went on Facebook. So I wanted to address it here. I want to be completely transparent. I will try not to be addressing you know, dirty laundry in the future because it's something I don't want to do on this channel. I've got some exciting content planned for 2021, so if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment down below, and I will see you again soon. My name's Craig from Magic TV.